What's going on, guys? You are back, hopefully, and it's not your first time. We are here again. This is the Win and Play podcast, and I am your host, Sean Gary, national youth speaker and author. And today I have an amazing guest, a good friend of mine, brother of mine. And before I introduce this amazing man to you guys, we got to do like we always do, y'all. So the Win and Play podcast, what we do is we have a championship ring, because you running plays, you already know this. Absolutely. When you running plays, you're trying to get that ring. So we like to enjoy a ring pop on the show. This is our championship ring, so you get to pick first. Guess,
really?
Guess always.
Man, you was over
first.
there pulling them out the bag, and I was hoping and praying to God that one of those was for me. And let me see where I'm going.
Sir.
You know, I'm from the neighborhood. I'm gonna go with watermelon.
Which one? Watermelon. That's a good one.
Watermelon.
What was it? Oh, that's mystery flavor. I don't know if I want the mystery right now. Watermelon is a good one too. I think
so.
The
what
strawberry.
We crack them open. Yep. I mean, what we get to them now?
We about to hit them up right now and enjoy.
Man, this podcast is already dope.
He said, "I seen you pull them out."
Man,
like,
I was over there just secretly.
I get one of them.
You know what I'm saying? You already got me together with a donut.
Right.
But then I'm thinking in my head like, man.
Yeah, right on time.
Right on time?
Right on time.
And what I'm going to do with mine, I'm going to put mine
sir.
I'm going to put it right here on this pinky like that.
I'm going to just go ahead and wipe these little crumbs off the table like they wasn't never there. All right,
super dope, man.
If you guys have not liked or subscribed, make sure you like and subscribe. This podcast is phenomenal. This is a place for principals and teachers and educators, parents, anybody that's a youth advocate, working with youth, doing something for young people to help them. This is a place for them to be interviewed, spotlight, highlight what they're doing for their communities, for young people, but also to give the winning play. So how is it that what their experiences are, how do they feel they can give some tips, some winning plays to others that are also working with youth? So if you are a parent, if you are a principal, a teacher, plug in so that you can, extract that information. You might find a company that's tutoring. You might find a company that's mentoring. You might find a company that's doing something that you feel your student, your child needs. And that could be your student in your classroom because you're a teacher. It could be a student in your building because you're a principal, or it could be your child because you're a parent. So guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's spread the word. Click that notification button. All the YouTube stuff, y'all know what it is. So just go ahead and do all of that. And we really appreciate it. I appreciate every single person that's been watching, that's been following. So this is really, really exciting. So of course, I'm a share, like how we met. But this gentleman right here, Mr. BrandonMacintosh, ladies and gentlemen, he's a father, he's an author, he's a community leader, faith enthusiast, kingdom-minded individual for sure, an inspirational leader. And I'm gonna come out the gate, and highlight and shout out Xavier. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, talk to him.
This man right here was one of the best coming out of Xavier, man. And you guys probably know him in the city, man. He's been around doing things and well known here and repped Xavier. So that's actually how we met, was hooping. All right, y'all. So we back, man. We just had a slight technical difficulty, so we are back. We're gonna pick up where we left off. So actually, we gotta go back a little bit, but it's okay. It's all good. So we were talking about some real good stuff. Let's go back to the question I asked was about the beginning, like when you first started and wanted to get into teaching, and you said some good stuff about what you had gone through. So let's pick it back up right there.
So I did the 6th grade twice, not out of because I failed, but because my sister and I went from public education to parochial education. And then the parochial or Catholic education, you have to do a placement test. And so, neither one of us kind of scored, I guess is the right word, to where we would be placed for their satisfaction to go to the next grade.
Right. And you said you was finishing 6th and your sister was finishing 2nd.
Yeah. And we both graduated from the public school in those grades. And it's no knock on Cincinnati Public Schools.
Right. Because we all thinking,
no.
Cincinnati Public.
No knock on us. No knock on us, because we have friends, and I love public education. We went to public education from up until that time. It's just that, of course, and I mean, even the we had the grading scale in front of us right now. The Catholic grading scale is different. You know what I mean? Where a C in public school is probably a D in Catholic school. Just the numbers, just the numbers, and the standard. Just like just if you were talking, like Padilla education, or you know what I mean, which focuses on something different. So the educational thing is just different. That's all. Right. And we love diversity, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
so that's really all it was.
So y'all took the test.
So we took the placement test, and we both, neither one of us placed where they wanted us to go to the next grade. You can come to the school, but you got to repeat that grade.
Gotcha.
And so here I am. I did the 6th grade twice. Did the 6th grade the second time I did the 6th grade. Of course, the tallest kid in the class. And so all these things are going on. So
did you have to deal with any kind of bullying, or how was it when you was okay.
I mean, number one, I was the biggest kid in the class. Number two,
did they all know you?
No, they didn't know me. Number one, I'm the biggest kid in the class, but if you spend 5 minutes around me, I don't even get that type of energy. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't even give you that type of energy. For me, it's always been about love. And so that energy is distracting anything else, like you know what I'm saying, that ever comes my way. I think that's one of another gifting that God has given me. I mean, I move in certain different circles and consider different tables even now, and it ain't because I'm this big scary guy, because that's not what it is. It's just because of the love, and I believe in that. It's the respect, the loyalty that I give, and that I operate in. So it was never none of that.
That's good. So you switched schools. You guys are going through repeating that grade again, but I'm sure it was different, like information maybe even, and how was that?
Yeah, it was, and it was some of the same information and different. But I mean, I can't remember ever feeling any type of way like being down. Matter of fact, I thought to myself, like, shoot, I'm about to get straight A's now. Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, I already done been through this, so
There's a level of confidence there.
Yeah, there was a level of confidence now.
That's what's up.
I'm about to get this together, and I think I was on the honor roll that year.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, one thing that you said that they didn't get to hear was how you ended up balancing it back out, because you finished in college in 3 years. So we definitely want to make sure we end up touching on that.
You want me to do that now?
Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
So the way it worked out is that, I got to high school, of course, was highly talented because of my basketball skills, and my grades didn't match up. Back then, I think you had to, whatever your grade point average was, your GPA, your cum, meaning the average over your 4 years of high school, that's the level of wherever the difference was. I think that's where you had to score it on the SAT. I don't even think it's done that way no more. But I was way off. I graduated high school, y'all ready, with a 1.6 grade point average.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's right. So technically speaking, before I was a high school graduate, I was a college student. So the agreement with Xavier was, we'll let you come here. You got to come as a student, prove yourself as a student first, and then once you do that, we'll give you the scholarship the next year, basketball scholarship. Because we know you can play. And they only did that for people that were, they knew, you're going off your basketball, but you got to prove yourself as a student. So I did that. So I was actually, like I said, a college student before I was a high school graduate, before prom and all that type of stuff. In the spring, like right around this time, maybe even March, maybe April, I was going Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was taking maybe a math and a English class. Okay. As a senior. So by the time I actually got on campus and was like a sophomore, junior, a sophomore, and at Xavier, one of the things that they do that makes them special is that they make it mandatory for the athletes to go to summer school. So I'm from Cincinnati. I'm like, I'm not about to move back home. I'm staying on campus. But the deal was, if you stayed on campus, you had to keep going to summer school. So I would take all 3 sessions of summer school.
Yeah,
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just on some, I don't want to go back home. I want my own place, my dorm. I want to move and just like this. But I got to take these classes. And then the game is, for all you athletes maybe that'll watch.
Come on.
Here go the game. Here go some diamonds.
Right. Here we go.
That some of those classes that are more intense and more engaging during the year are consolidated down to weekend classes in the summer. So you could knock out a Spanish class in the summer on a weekend versus going, you understand what I'm saying? So you can knock out some of that hard stuff. So I did that, man. So by the time I'm coming into, let me see, I want to say coming into my junior year, I know the number of credits that you got to have to graduate from college. I think it was 120 then. I'm like close. I'm like, I was so close going into junior year. I was only taking classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Wow.
And you remember I'm a basketball player,
Right.
and I was done before 1 o'clock. I was done before 12, I think.
Right.
I don't know if you hear what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, 12 o'clock.
As a college athlete, I was only going to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Wow.
nothing.
Wow. That's what's up. Are your students lacking confidence? How's their decision making in the school? What about their effort in the classroom? Are they giving it all that they really, really have? Well, these are things that, as a national youth speaker and author, I address in school buildings. If you are dealing with any of these issues and you would like to have a fun, exciting, full of energy presentation, assembly, don't hesitate to reach out. My website is SeanGary.com. How they think about their next choices will be different. Go ahead and book a discovery call with me, which we simply have a conversation about what their challenges are, what their needs are, and then I can share with you what I would say, do, what talks that I have that address those areas, and also what an assembly would look like. And yes, I'm pretty much there the whole day. All right, thanks a lot. Now back to the episode.
So I mean, kind of got there, where we're working with, and knowing my story and being very, very confident to tell that story and being very transparent with you to tell you where I actually messed up. It wasn't a system. It wasn't another race. It wasn't none of that other goofy stuff. It was me that was the problem. And when I internalized that and begin to make adjustments, that's where being relentless came into play.
Yeah. So I was gonna say let's get on that, because before relentless, but the part where you get to share where you went wrong. What was you doing and when, where you said, look, now I'm telling young people, don't do this.
Yeah. It's a lack of application, a lack of.
And when was this? This was high school time.
I would say it started probably 8th grade.
Okay.
Where I would have, when I did the homework, to go back to say, man, where did this come from? It was this ability to cut corners.
Okay.
And what happens is when you start cutting corners, you condition yourself to look for the easy way out.
That's good. That's good. Hold on. That's good. That's a bar.
That's another diamond, ain't it?
Yeah, that's a diamond for sure. Say that one more time. Yeah.
When you cut corners, you don't even know what's going on, because what you're doing is you're trying to make it easy, but what you're doing is you condition yourself to always to look for the easy way. I heard somebody else, y'all get ready, that the results that you want is in the work that you don't want to do.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, because it ain't nowhere. It's no way around.
Right.
There's no way around it. You cannot cut corners. You cannot. As an athlete, that you got to touch every line. That means something. You conditioning your mind, muscle memory, to always to take the easy way. And when it doesn't, and when it's not easy, you condition yourself to quit. And blame somebody else, and find some other answer. And it's not my fault. It's because of this, or it's because of my. No, I don't do that. We don't do that stuff in my household. I don't teach my son that way. You have to really figure out where you need to make the adjustments as yourself, and then God gonna take up the rest of that stuff. But I got to be faithful about what it is that I'm doing.
Man, that's good.
It's about 8th grade.
That's real good.
To answer your question.
Yeah.
About the eighth grade.
That's good. So how would you say in 8th grade it kind of started then, and how did it build and roll into 9th, 10th, 11th? What did it look like? The lifestyle, the choices you were making in school and class. What kind of stuff were you doing? Where was it evident?
It's a laziness. It was a laziness, and it was getting assignments done just to get them done, not getting them done to learn. Not having a full maturity. It's a maturity thing in there too. That's what I tell. That's some game for some principals and teachers. Sometimes it's a maturity level.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're planting a seed into something that's going to come back later on. And you got to nurse it and kind of get in the car with that. But it came. Not doing all the assignments. Conditioning myself to that, practicing in that horrible habit. The laziness to wait to the last minute. What I mean? The procrastination.
That procrastination.
To get you. But I'm gonna tell you something about procrastinators. Or if you're dealing with a procrastinator, you're probably dealing with some of the most creative people on the face of the earth. The procrastinator mind works as this: I see the big and complete picture. Where the procrastination starts to get bad for that person is they don't know how to compartmentalize, and they don't know the beauty of the small.
to get started. Just piece by piece.
Because they're dealing with, I see the big
the whole
picture.
thing, right.
I see all of it. So we're trying to do all of it the same at one time. And that can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to break that down into small pieces.
Right. That's
you understand
good.
what I'm saying? So that's where the procrastinator
that's good.
is affected.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When you was talking, you said something just now that reminded me of something you said that I think they missed before. You were talking about your son, and you were talking about being there for him, and you were talking about being in the car. Tell us about that. What you say to him?
So my son and I, we say, of course, we say I love you. And then what we say, because he's getting older, you know, but I still make him say, you know, make him say, you know.
And how old is he now?
He's 12.
Okay,
Just turned 12 on the 8th.
Okay. Well, happy birthday.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
So when we talked, I was in California.
Oh, okay.
I was in California. But we also say, I'm riding with you. And what that means, I'm in the car with you. That means no matter what is going on emotionally, distance, whether I'm disappointed, you doing something I don't like, all that stuff may be true, but I'm in the car. That means I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? That means I'm right here with you, and I'm riding with you through the good, bad, and the ugly.
That's good.
And we rehearse that, especially as a young black male. You need to hear that no matter how bad it gets, or no matter how ugly, or maybe I'm disappointed, I'm in the car.
But still here, yeah.
I ain't asked to get out. I'm not out. I don't like where you turn. I'm in the car.
Right. No, that's good, man. I like it because, that's what I was getting ready to say when it cut was with my kids. I tell them, I'm like, look, you gonna do something one day, and you're gonna be like, oh man, I messed up.
Absolutely.
I messed up. I said, listen, I already know it's coming a time when you gonna blow it.
Yeah.
You're gonna blow it. I said, but the difference is, you know that your father loves you.
Yep.
And he's been waiting for this moment where you feel like you don't want to tell me.
Yeah.
And you're gonna try to figure this thing out by yourself. Right when you start to think that, stop. And say, let me just call my daddy.
Yeah.
Let me call my dad because he said he loves me and he's told me that it ain't nothing I can do. Because I tell him, I said, when that time come, it ain't even gonna matter what you did. It's not gonna change my love.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change my love. But the problem is how many of our young people are locked up, dead, in situations where they made a mistake and they said, dang, how do I get out of this?
Yes.
And they tried to figure it out on their own versus saying, let me call somebody. Now, some may not have had a dad to call. Let's be honest. Some may not have had a dad.
Right.
May not have had an uncle. May not have had a pastor. But to have somebody, for some of you watching, you're going to be that person. You're going to be the principal that they connect with, that they say, let me call my principal because she always been there. He always been there for me. Let me call my teacher, my English teacher. She's always said, how you doing? What's going on at home? If you need anything, let me know. This person might be you that they call. But when that moment comes, for them to know they're not by themselves.
Yeah, that's key, man.
And the crazy part, I tell my kids, I say, the wildest thing about it is, however you view that decision and the outcome of it, from my perspective, it's probably not going to be nearly as bad as you think it's going to be.
Right.
But you just don't know no better.
You don't know no better. You only know, at that age, you only know what's in front of your face.
Yep.
So
it's going to seem so terrible to you, but when you call me, I might be upset, like you said. I might be disappointed. I might be like, you should have known. But let's figure this thing out.
I'm still in the car.
We'll talk about all that later. Let's get you out of this little hole you done put yourself in.
Absolutely. And I think especially as fathers, and let me give some games, since we only talking to the teachers. Let me tell them something, and please listen to what I'm saying. You don't understand, as a principal, as an educator in the building, that you hold a coveted position that marketing execs would love to be in. They would love to be every day to be able to sit here and take note what shoes these kids is wearing, how these kids respond to this type of music, what the kids are wearing, what they doing right here, what they doing on the Friday. You know, at your fingertips, you have the power to be able to give influence and impact to a generation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you cannot hide as an educator behind the X's and O's of executing a lesson plan, so much so because in the building, because what we're talking about is what in the educational world you would label as intrinsic or extrinsic issues. They talk about this stuff.
Getting deep now. Come on, break it down for them.
And it's just some game. These are the words that you start hearing when the school gets around to state testing, right? because you start looking at these scores and you wonder why. Well, why is this group of students testing higher than this group of students? And then what they'll do, they'll start looking at, okay, what's the, like I said, intrinsic issues. These are the issues that are going on inside of a student for which maybe there's not no confidence, or what are the relationships that are causing maybe a level of distraction to a student, so they're not performing at a high level on this standardized test. Or extrinsic issues, what is going on, and then intrinsic issues like maybe what's going on in the building, maybe bullying, or stuff like all that stuff falls up under that category and umbrella. But then extrinsic issues is stuff that is going on either outside of the body or in the community. Or outside of the building, that's causing the student to come inside of the building when it's time to
sit down and learn.
Or it's the learning every day, but it's more so when you start seeing these standardized tests, the performance and the scores. You know what I mean? Because a lot of that is major. You know what I mean? You start talking about a whole lot of stuff when you start talking about that type of stuff.
That's good.
So as we look at that,
real quick. Man, this is so good. I know you guys are eating this intellectually. Some of you guys are taking notes. I hope some of you have paused and already rewound some to go back. And I'm excited about all that. But what I need you to do, I need them to do something right now. This is what I need you guys to do. I need you to go ahead and like and subscribe right now. Hit that notification button. Everything else that they offer you on the YouTube channel, the algorithm is waiting for you to tell it, yes, this is valuable information. So go ahead and share this with somebody. Send it to a principal, send it to a parent, send it to a teacher, anybody that you know that cares about young people. Now is a good time to go ahead and send this to them. And go ahead and subscribe, guys. Join us, support us, all that good stuff. So we're going to jump back into this, man. This is really, really good. And something you said reminded me, talking about just that influence and that impact, and as students, how they're watching you as a teacher. They're watching you, not just what you saying, they're watching what you wearing.
Man.
And I remember,
you hear me?
I had a teacher in high school, and this teacher would literally wear the exact same sweater. Was it a sweater? Sweater every single day of the week to match that day. What do I mean? So
what kind of sweater was it?
Like on Mondays, it was like he would wear a shirt and then throw the sweater over it, like a little button-up sweater, like a cardigan or something. Yeah. And so he would wear every Monday like the green one, every Tuesday the blue one.
But it was always a cardigan.
Yeah, same one. But guess what? On Fridays he wore.
What's that?
It was a vest. That's what it was. It was a vest. On Fridays, he would wear his cowboy boots with his leather vest because he would ride his Harley to school. It was clockwork. So we had in the back of our notebook what day it was, and we marking it off. He's on point. He's wearing it. He missed a beat. Now, if we skipped a day, this was funny. This is how he would skip a day. So let's say Monday he wore his Monday, but let's say Tuesday he wasn't there. On Wednesday he would wear Tuesday.
Wow. So he was locked in.
He was already locked. Yeah, he had it already ironed, probably ready to go. So the day he missed, like a Tuesday, on Wednesday he would wear Tuesdays, and then on Thursday he would wear Thursdays. He'd be back on track. And so it was like
he was locked in.
We noticed that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And then it was almost like this. I don't want to just call him a nerd, but it was like he was just in this space of super clean cut with the the vest and the button up, and then Friday was like it's free time. It's like it's free time. Let's get the leather out. You know what I'm saying? And then had the Harley and stuff. So we was like, okay. See,
was that y'all favorite teacher?
No. No, he wasn't. We used to do some funny stuff, man. I got a couple classmates, if they ever check this out, they're gonna lose it. But this is like my senior year. We did silly stuff, man. One of the games we played was the stand-up game. Okay. And so in this one particular teacher's class, who will remain unnamed, we would try to distract her to get her off topic, talking about whatever. Okay. And while doing that, we would start our game. And the game was the stand-up game. So the goal is to be the last man standing. So you get up, get some tissue, sharpen your pencil, stand by the door, like whatever you could do to just be up. But if the class is distracting her enough, then it might be like 5, 6, 7 people walking around in the middle of the class, like just all of us are playing the game.
Wow.
And so every now and then she would look up and be like, "What are y'all doing? Let's sit down."
Yeah.
And so you kind of like, "Oh shoot, I gotta go sit down." And so when you go back to the seat, like, you know, you like the last one, or the second to the last, you like, dang, you trying not to sit down, so you might kind of squat or something, or act like you about to sit down, and then when the other person go sit down, you stand back up, so then you be the last, you know, just all kind of silly stuff, man. To try, and then leave out the class, try to get, oh, can I go to the, you know, we like, nah, if you leave, y'all don't count, you got to be in the room, you know. But that was one of the games we played. It was a lot of fun. There was another one we played where we would drop pencils. So we just drop pencils, just randomly drop a pencil, boom, and then it's like, all right, let's see who can drop a pencil there. And just, you got to imagine in a classroom, it's like a pencil dropping every like minute and a half, clowning, bro, and silly stuff, but harmless. You know what I'm saying? Harmless. And I remember this one particular time, and this was in that teacher's class with the vest. He said, if somebody drops another dang on pencil, and now we like, oh shoot, like nobody want to drop no pencil. And then my boy, I'm trying to think if I should shout him out, Jim Wassel. I'm gonna go ahead and shout him out. My boy Jim Wassel, he went ahead. So now I gotta tag him in this because he don't have to watch the episode. But you know what he drops? He drops his calculator. Wow. So like the pencils were dropping, but they weren't as loud. So he said, if somebody drop another pencil, and then he knocks off his calculator, man, you talk about, we all lost it. Silly, goofy stuff. What high school did you go to? This was Buckeye Valley. This was out in Delaware.
Got you.
Yep. Because I was in Columbus and moved out to Delaware. Yeah. So shout out to Buckeye Valley. But I'm about to tell him like, I mentioned y'all in the episode, like, you know what I'm saying?
Have you been back up there to?
I went to the reunion, not to speak though, to speak. I talked to a couple of the elementary schools, and I think it was like 5 of them maybe, and like 3 of them I was actually able to that day, because I had a tour. I was hitting like 6 schools in the area, and I said, man, I gotta go talk to them before I, go back home after the week is out. And so like 3 of them I got to face chop it up quick with, gave them all my info. And I'm like, yo, I'm coming home. Like, I'm one of y'all, and they were like really excited. They were just kind of like, we got a meeting coming up. We're going to talk about it and different things and just different. I don't even really know what it was, because it was just kind of like after the meeting, they really didn't want to move in that direction. And I'm not sure what happened, but I don't think it's a done deal. I think it's just a matter of the timing. I think it was a timing. Timing is everything. Yeah, absolutely. But they on the list. So Buckeye Valley, all them elementary schools, y'all know what it is.
Delaware County. That's where the zoo is. Is the zoo out there?
Yeah, it's that's where is the zoo? Because that was where I had my first job. It was I'm about to call Olentangy area. What is it? I gotta look it up.
That's
now I gotta look it up.
270. It's off of 270
it's up there. Look, I'm about to pull it up, because it used to be Wyandotte Lake and the zoo. It used to be the theme park, like the amusement park, and the zoo.
Water park.
Yep, and now the zoo bought it. Now I'm putting in Wyandotte Lake. That don't even exist no more. That's that site I was telling you about earlier. That she was saying, check out my site. And,
got you.
Yeah, but let me see. I do want to know, because you asked me. Now I want to know, where is the zoo, Columbus Zoo at? I'm gonna look it up now. Shoot, zoo, aquarium, because Cincinnati got a good zoo too.
It ain't like we do, but it's nothing like.
And Jack Hanna, he used to be out there all the time. He was in Delaware, I think.
I was so impressed at how they had the lions situated.
Powell, that's where it is. Powell. Because I'm like, I gotta pull this up. I'm like, man, hold on, man. Yeah. So anyway, back to your situation and everything. So you went through this, you understood, and started around the 8th grade, then through high school, and then now you're in college, and you're getting this thing knocked out even sooner. So did you stay for a 4 year? So you played only 3 years?
Only played 3 years.
What?
Yep, only 3 years. And then God did some other things with my life, and called me into the ministry, and so I went to school. I left there, graduated from Xavier, and then went to school. Seminary. So it was a wild time, man.
Nice. Where'd you go for?
Well, it's no more, but Cincinnati Christian.
Christian. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I remember
Used
there.
to be Cincinnati Bible College, I believe it was. My mother graduated from there with a master's degree.
Nice.
Shout out to my mother. My mother holds a earned doctorate degree in biblical studies, urban studies, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what's up. Yeah, I got my master's in theology from Liberty University.
Awesome.
Liberty.
Awesome.
And I remember I was talking to a pastor friend at the time, and I chose Liberty because I was getting my MBA when I graduated from Tiffin. So I was getting that for free or whatever, working for them. But I knew like, this isn't it. Like I know I'm an entrepreneur. I know my bachelor's was in business. So I'm like, I got the bachelor's in business. I don't know if I really want the MBA though. I really want, like, I want to serve the Lord. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know I'm getting it for free, but I really know I'm going to go get this theological degree, you know? And so I remember choosing Liberty because financially they were very attractive.
Right, gotcha.
They were very attractive.
Gotcha.
But I didn't know who they were. I didn't know. And so basically I'm talking to this other pastor and she's telling me like, you know, I have a doctorate from, you know, and she named a place that I guess wasn't accredited.
Gotcha.
And so she said, but your master's from Liberty is going to be worth and more valuable than what I have. And I was like, what? She was like, you don't know Liberty. And I was like,
where is that at?
Yeah, Liberty is Lynchburg, Virginia.
Okay.
And she said, no, that's the largest Christian university in the world. And I was like,
really?
I was like, oh, for real? Like, yeah, I didn't know.
Wow.
I didn't even know. So I went and looked it up, and the largest, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, go Liberty. That's me. Like, you know, like,
right.
But I went there because they the cost of the seminary, I'm like, that right there? Hold on, let me call them up.
Right.
Is this what I'm looking at?
Right.
But no, I enjoyed it, man. I loved my classes and courses, and we can get into more of that later. But coming back to you, so your story, you went from when was it where you started to say like, I got to start doing something for young people?
I think it was just the nature of, in the beginning, I think it was just the nature of my degree. It was the nature of my degree. So it was just the jobs that within my degree. I mean, and of course, I don't know what's guiding me. I mean, well, maybe I did. My first job out of Xavier with a criminal justice degree was the Lighthouse Youth Services.
Okay.
You familiar with the Lighthouse?
Yeah.
So on the spectrum of juvenile justice, juvenile detention, Lighthouse is more like a crisis, a weekend, short-term type of deal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I started doing that. And then that graduated from, I went from Lighthouse. Lighthouse actually introduced me to working in the schools.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things that they had at the Lighthouse Youth Service, I don't know if they still do, that they had, they called it, what did they call it? Intense, basically like a mentor, paid mentor.
Okay.
Somebody that'd sit with you in class and help you with class, with your work, something like that. I forget what they called it. But it was down at Taft, and it was with a 9th grader. And I stayed down there for a year, and I went from Lighthouse to Hillcrest Training School.
I think I heard of Hillcrest.
So Hillcrest is not structured the same way now, but Hillcrest was more long term. So you were sentenced there. You were mandated, I guess would be the correct vernacular. You were mandated there by the magistrate to go, depending on you did a crime, you know what I mean?
Right.
Carrying concealed weapons, you know, all this other type of, I was in the aggressive unit. With the guys that had the carrying concealed weapons, drug trafficking, this, that, and the other.
Real quick, to put a pin on that, or to dig deeper in that, when you were dealing with those individuals, well, first question, were you dealing with any other individuals, or it was mainly just that group?
So Hillcrest was structured as different cottages. Now the cottages were structured at depending on what your crime was. So you had sex offenders up there.
Okay.
You had other type of stuff, but it was the one I was in. It was the more aggressive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was the carrying concealed weapon, like I said, drug trafficking. It was more of that type of stuff. For me.
Okay. Now dealing with them, how was their demeanor and their thought process? Like, were they apologetic? Like, dang, I messed up? Were they kind of like, I'm hard, I don't care? Like, what did you run into? What was that like?
So, what you got to remember is that these still are kids. Now, these are all teenagers. Okay. I think maybe the youngest is 12 or 13, maybe 14. you got to remember these still are kids. So from in that college, I can remember at any time there was from 14 to 18. So you got 18-year-olds and there were 14-year-olds.
Wow.
At some time, and 12 boys all the time. So 12 beds. So some of them at different levels of their process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some of them at different levels of the process, and that's the beauty of working there, to kind of be able to identify where they're at. Now, you know, the behaviors are the behaviors. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like to deal with the behaviors of adolescents and teenagers, you need to go find and do something else. Just simply put. But as an adult that's been assigned to do something like this, you know, you got to figure out how to make an influence and impact. I always tell people, you got to use what you got.
For sure.
I played basketball, you know, and I played it very, very well. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Facts.
You know, for the record. For the record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For the record.
For the record, because I got young people that still can. You know what I'm saying? I tell them, don't let this belly fool you. This is water, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, and like I get buckets. You know, I can't dunk no more, but I get buckets. So you got to use what you got, and so that. Being, you know, you dealing with street kids. You dealing with kids that are in here not because this is summer camp.
Right.
This ain't summer camp. This ain't somewhere their parents paid for them to be. This is somewhere they gotta be because they were mandated by the court. Wow. You follow what I'm saying? Wow. So these are those types of kids, and all types of kids. Man. But I used what I had, basketball. Yeah. You know, so they gravitated towards me just because I could play basketball, and I was dunking in. I was in my early 20s.
Right.
You know, and then you know, we would do stuff like play spades. Okay. Let me tell you something. I only worked there 1 year. I was in an aggressive unit. I never had to put my hands physically on no kid. Wow. Never physically had to restrain no kid. Wow. My words and my wordplay has always been my gift. Your presence. And, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But what you didn't want to do is act up on my shift, and you had to go to bed and come play spades. And the older boys. Yeah. The older boys rock with me so much. I ain't have to do none of that other stuff that the other staff had to do, because the older boys mess with me so much. You better not mess. Right. They gonna police that. Yeah. They gonna police that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't do that in here. No, like, not with him. Right. They would come tell me other stuff that was going on when I wasn't even there. Because and that's what here's another diamond for educators and principals. The game is relationship. Yeah. You get relationship in that classroom, executing your lesson plan for that day is gonna be easy. If you get kids to come talk to you about other stuff and you actually listening, and then you actually ask them about it the next day and the other day and this, that, and the other. It might sound goofy to you about who they dating and who they like, but that stuff is serious to them. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you got to be at a place where relationship. Then I can tell you, you too young to be dating, and they actually hear you. Don't listen. Right. They actually hear you because there's a relationship there. So I had that relationship, man, and I had favor in there. That's good. You know, and then I went from there to, on the other side of the spectrum, to Hamilton County Job and Family Service, where I was a caseworker. And that's a whole different ball game. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And I'll be honest with you and transparent. I wasn't really necessarily good at that job, because with that job, it has to be about the paperwork and documentation. Okay. That's what that job is. Yeah. It's documentation. You can actually be horrible with the kids' relationship, but be good at the job because you're good at documentation. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're dealing with the county and the court, it all becomes court involved. So, you got to give an account for certain stuff in front of a judge. Right. So if your paperwork ain't, you know what I'm saying, at elite, you got a problem. But I was really good with the people, the families. Yeah. My coworkers would ask me to go into go with them these sketchy places in OT and over the Rhine. Yeah, they would ask me to go just of the people. Right. You know what I mean? I don't know if you remember this, that we had gotten to a place in Cincinnati. There was a case. I forget what the case was. Probably good that I don't remember the case. But then they brought the news camera, and the parents came down and was going to storm Job and Family Services. Oh wow. Banging on the door. Man, they sent me out there to talk to the family. Wow. Just because the people skills and the communication skills with people has always been, always been elite. And that's just out of respect for people. Yeah. Like, this is a person. Right. It ain't about no giant or no nothing like aggressive enforcer. Ain't none of that type of stuff. Because you and I both know, when you from that environment, you don't care how big nobody is. Right. You understand what I'm saying? That connection piece got to be there. Connection piece. So that's what. No, that's good. That's good.
All right, let's get into this, man. We want to make sure that we give these people, before we get into it, an opportunity again to go ahead and like and subscribe and share this with others, many others. But Relentless, man. Tell us about Relentless, man.
Okay, so in 2012, my son was born. April 8th, 2012. That year he was born at 5:28 p.m.
Okay.
Resurrection. Oh,
dang, man, I got to get my game up. I gotta get. I don't know what time.
5:28 p.m. Mount Carmel East.
My kid. Oh man, look. I can tell you the city.
I can tell you what I had on. I can tell you what I had on.
What?
I had on. I mean, I do Nike. No disrespect to anybody else that want to come alongside Team Relentless and partner and get sponsored. You feel me?
Right.
But I've always done Nike. I had on a blue Nike hoodie. I had on black Nike pants, and I had on the blue LeBron number 8s.
Wow.
That's what I had on.
Wow.
When he was born.
That's what's up.
And out of that, I would play basketball, and then all of a sudden, as a father, my mind started to change, and now I'm trying to think how to communicate all these life lessons to my son Kingston. His name is Kingston. How do I communicate all these different things? What I be truthful about, transparent about? I mean, all this type of stuff. Dating, who to date, school, basketball, sports, all this type of stuff. I'm thinking about this stuff.
Yeah.
And no cap. I kept having a dream. It wasn't every night, but it was enough to be like, dang, I had this dream again. And the dream was I was back playing basketball, and then I would wake up, I'd be disappointed I wasn't playing. So, and you might know this, but a lot of male athletes, student athletes, they battle a lot of regret with what they didn't do or what they didn't accomplish.
Right.
So I talk to a lot of older men. A lot of them feel some regret in their life. And so I'm processing through all of that now. I'm as a father, just trying to be the best dad I can be. And I'm getting to the road of relentless, and it's going to make sense, is that on a walk to play basketball, God began to give me Relentless. And he gave it to me in the acronym. It's an acronym.
Okay.
So word by, and I kept repeating it to myself. So I got this dream. I'm like, dang, why am I keep having this dream?
Yeah.
Why I keep dreaming this and then waking up and feeling this type of way? So I started I ain't shy away from it. I went into it like, man, what, you know what I'm saying? And I had to start telling myself the truth.
Yeah.
And that's where it came from. I took away from being a victim of what I wasn't able to do to actually like, dang, I did do that, or wow, I did say that, or I was lazy, and I wasn't disciplined. So that all became a part of being relentless, being able to tell myself the truth, which is the first R. The E is to evaluate, to take a step back and to be like, man, I need to do that different. Or you approach something that you talking about you like, or love. What does that really mean? You just like the feeling of it, or you really committed to it?
That's good.
You know what I mean? My favorite one of the acronym is the N, which means notorious, which sometimes have an infamous word, but more so it goes for the consistency, that what you're going to get.
Nice.
When we embrace you, what we going to get every time.
Yeah.
Coach Prosser, the late great Coach Prosser, who went on to coach Chris Paul and Josh Howard, that both played in the NBA.
Okay.
James Posey and David West. He would say you're going to either be a basketball or football. He says you throw a football down on the ground and it might bounce back up, but sometimes you don't know how it's going to bounce. Right. He says you bounce a basketball on the ground, it bounces back up. He said that's the level of consistency that you want to give to the world, that people know what they're going to get. So all of these things come, this whole relentless brand of thought. It's more than gear, it's more than a book, it's more than a speech. It's actually how you go through life. For me, how move as a father, how I move as a pastor, how I move as somebody that is being gifted with the responsibility to lead young people. The consistency, because they watching. Just like y'all knew what vest he was wearing. Young people are watching. Sure. And I want them to know every time they see me, I'm gonna have on a 5 pair of Nikes. You hear what I'm saying? Every time they see me, I'm gonna have on something Nike. Every time they see me, every time they run into a problem, they know where they can come. Right. That level of notorious habit. So that's where the Relentless brand came out of. Really trying to explain to my son the world, and it just evolved into what you see now.
Yeah. No, that's dope. So now tell the people who let's go back a little bit. So with your company, who is it that you're targeting? Speak to that person so that they're listening going, okay, so I need to have another conversation. I need to check out the site. And so who do you service and then how?
That's a great question. I get that question asked to me all the time. Now, we've been graced at Team Relentless that I've the main focus is, I would say, grades 6 through 12.
Okay.
That's the main focus, right?
Okay.
But because if you look at the dynamic and the model of Team Relentless is simply to, okay, you have a goal. We do vision board parties.
Nice.
We're doing one in Columbus at Fort Hayes. I think I told you.
Nice.
I told you about that.
That's coming up.
They have amazing facility too, by the way. But it's basically essentially taking, okay, I have a goal, or this is what I want to do with my life, or what I want to be when I grow up. Okay, boom, here go the goal. Now, what is my responsibility along the way? What is it I'm doing as far as like everyday stuff that I need to adjust to make it mirror where I'm headed? That could be as simple as like, I want to be an entrepreneur and I'm 7th grade, but I don't clean my room up after I leave it.
Right.
You want to make, Eric Snow says in his book, the way that you do anything is the way that you do everything. Yeah. So making sure everything lines up like that.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? But we've also partnered with places like Procter & Gamble, where we've talked to their African American leaders. I think it was over 1,500 leaders that we eventually spoke to. A lot of it was virtual. It was during COVID.
Okay.
And that we really kind of led a professional development. So there's different aspects, but the main focus is 6 through 12. But also too, any company, any that has a professional development. Every school has a professional development time frame on their calendar where the kid, they call it, we used to call it in service.
Right. Yeah.
But while the kids are out, the adults are there learning something. Right. It's a professional development day. So, we really major in that too. Because there is a piece of Team Relentless that now that I've lived through it, I did the 6th grade twice. I graduated from college when I was a partial qualifier and graduated from high school with a 1.6. There's as aspect for me, my responsibility to the educator, superintendent, to tell you, how do we continue to minister to these kids? You know what I'm saying? In this way, I do a lot of social and emotional learning and restorative practices. That's
needed
in school.
That's big time needed.
That's a major lane of mine.
That's across the country. Every school is dealing with that.
Yes, to be able to communicate. In this new book, Relentless Coaching, I talk about one of the principles of coaching, effective coaching, is communication.
Nice.
It is not my job to provoke you or to, that old school way of shaming you to change you. That little goofy stuff ain't never really worked. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely don't work now.
Yeah, for sure.
To shame you to change you, nah. But to walk with you and to communicate, to get you to the place where you actually hear these words that I'm coming out of my mouth and actually get to see like, oh dang, I do need to kind of reevaluate the change like that. Right. So, it's that lane. But yeah, to answer your question, 6 through 12 is the main focus, but, professional development, any company, of any facility. I've talked to police officers and community leaders, it's all within that, you being the best you that you were created to be.
Nice.
Simply put.
Nice.
If that's your motto, I don't care if you're a bank, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what you got going on. If the model is taking these people and making them as best as key for the elevation of the company, you call Team Relentless. You connect to us. We'll come and get you together.
Nice. Did you want to leave a number for them?
You can reach us at teamrelentless.net. I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram. Brandon, BRANDON, Macintosh, MACINTOSH. On the gram, BrandonMacintosh with no A, MCINTOS on the book, on Twitter or X. What is it now?
Right.
Changing. What's up with that goofy
Twitter
stuff?
/X.
What type of time is they on?
Right.
I'm B Macintosh at XU. So
and we're gonna have all this in the description.
Hit me
so
up, I would love to partner with because I think there's some things that have to be communicated to schools and the people that affect. And you got a lot of teachers quitting because of emotional stuff. So you got a lot of teachers that really need to be serviced and supported, just as these kids. As we talk about intrinsic and extrinsic issues of the kids, you got a whole host of teachers that got some stuff going on.
Right. For sure. For sure. I mean, we don't know, kids don't know what, the teachers are dealing with just as much as the teachers don't know what the kids are dealing with until that communication piece is there. And even then, teachers aren't revealing, of course, to the kids what they're going through, So, yeah, they need that support as well.
Absolutely.
That's good. All right, so you mentioned your book. Mm-hmm. Is that a book that
That's
can get
available
now?
on the website.
All right, so on the website, you can get a copy of the book. But what I need from you, and I'm going to ask on the spot.
Yeah, give it to me on the spot.
I need some kind of discount for all the people watching, for those that say, we want to bring him in.
Okay.
What can you offer them a discount?
Absolutely.
The We Winners, these are the watchers,
Yeah.
the We Winners. I'm going to call them We
that.
Winners. Okay.
Absolutely. We definitely do that.
What type of discount we talking?
Dang, you really put me on the spot.
Yeah, gotta put him out there. Like, I gotta get it out there, right?
Now you talking about the book or
it's up to you.
Talking about me to come?
The ball is in your court.
Well, the beauty of Team Relentless, we're always going to talk with each school, whatever, we're always going to sit and talk and what works best for you, because we can offer, we can come in, we can talk to the whole group. We can come in, we can offer you the book. We have it on ebook. A lot of educators, and support staff move better that way with your phone and all the type of stuff. So we can, the ebook now, I think we still have the ebook now on the website. I think I have to check with, but it's $5.
Okay.
So that's a discount. That's
a good deal right there. We don't want to mess with that one.
That's already like that from maybe the last. But anything else, we could sit and have a conversation about, what is it you're trying to do, and then go from there,
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We understand what's going on. We know what's going on, and budgets and and cuts and you know what I'm saying. But we know that there is work that needed, in the schools. So yeah, let's do work. Let's partner.
Perfect. All right. So now for our how we wrap up this thing.
Here we go.
And you said you like, I don't want to know. I don't want to write nothing. I just want to get it just raw, just right on the spot. All right, so you have two options, option A, option B.
Okay.
And for those that are watching, you guys know, okay, I'll wait. I know you wanted to say you want to go hit the like and subscribe. Go ahead, I'll wait for you. Okay, cool, you did that. Okay, cool, I appreciate that. Are your students lacking confidence? How's their decision making in the school? What about their effort in the classroom? Are they giving it all that they really, really have? Well, these are things that, as a national youth speaker and author, I address in school buildings. If you are dealing with any of these issues and you would like to have a fun, exciting, full of energy presentation, assembly, don't hesitate to reach out. My website is SeanGary.com. How they think about their next choices will be different. Go ahead and book a discovery call with me, which we simply have a conversation about what their challenges are, what their needs are, and then I can share with you what I would say, do, what talks that I have that address those areas, and also what an assembly would look like. And yes, I'm pretty much there the whole day. All right, thanks a lot. Now back to the episode. So now that you're back, this part, for some of you already know, this is the Win and Play. This is the Win and Play podcast, where we give the win and plays to our principals and our teachers and our parents. And so option A, you get to choose principals, teachers, and parents, and give 3 win and plays for each one. 3 win and plays for the principals, for the teachers, and 3 for the parents. Or option B, you can choose one of them, principals or teachers or parents, and then give 5 for just the one. Yeah.
Ooh, we might need a ring pop break real quick. This is fly, by the way.
I appreciate that.
You hear me?
I appreciate that.
You see what I'm on? You see what type of time I'm on? My dilemma, let me say this before I pick.
Okay.
My dilemma is...
And you could have mentioned it earlier. It could have been something you already said.
Yeah, I know.
Because you've been dropping diamonds the whole time.
Appreciate you, man. I think I want to do parents. I just got to want to give 5. And I'm going to tell you why. Can I explain why?
Sure. Nah, we can't have you tell why. No,
I can't tell why?
I'm just messing. Yeah, go ahead.
No, because I really want to do principals.
Yeah.
You said principals and...
Principals or teachers or parents.
I really want to do all 3 of them, right? Mm-hmm. I really want to do all 3 of them. You get the book, teamrelentless.net, 10 Ways to Be Relentless is on there. All 3 of y'all go get it. But I want to do the parents because I really feel like if we're going to bridge the gap, if we're going to make a difference, if we're going to really be an influence, we have to start addressing parents. Because the game is, I'm with your child for 8 hours during the day, but guess what? They go home.
Right.
Now they can almost unlearn and all the stuff that we've been talking about, all the rules and all this other type of stuff.
Right.
So it's going to have to be all inclusive to everybody to really kind of one team.
Yeah.
I live by the principle, there's no I in team, but great individuals make great teams. So the focus has to be on elevating individuals in order for the team to be elevated.
Yeah.
And I think the parenting piece is the last piece that we really got to give focus to elevate this thing. So I'm just going to do the parents.
That's good. All right.
I'm going to do the parents.
So 5 for the parents.
Plays. Number 1, talk to your kids. Talk to your kids. I'm not talking about, let me get focused. I'm not talking about how you were talked to as a child, but I'm talking about talk to your kids. I'm talking about learn the language of the day.
Yeah.
Learn that slang. Learn that stuff. Learn the slang. Learn it, because they may be talking about some stuff right in front of you,
and you have no idea,
right over your head, that you don't even know nothing about. That shows interest, right?
Right.
That shows care. The old adage of people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. That learn how to talk to your kids, and that's one. I could have put these two together, but then 2 is learn how to listen to your kids.
That's good. That's good.
Learn how to listen to your kids. I can't tell you how many times I got to kick kids out of my room because that's what they want to do, come down and talk to me.
Yeah.
Because what Mr. McIntosh is going to do is I'm going to sit here and listen. I'm going to make you laugh, and I'm you know what I mean? But I'm going to sit here and listen. And guess what? The next day, you tell me about this little boy, this little girl you like, I done listened to you. I'm going to come and I'm going to ask you about it. Because I was listening.
Right.
Talk to your kids, listen to your kids.
Number 3.
I'm on number 3. I would say have healthy communication with your school. Don't just communicate with your school when your child is in trouble.
Right. Oh, it's turn up time.
Don't do that. Have healthy communication.
That's good.
Because what the school has the information, but the parents has the insight. And if we working against each other, we're not going to get nothing done. But if the parents give these principals and teachers insight of what's going on, see, those are all those extrinsic things that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So now if I give the educator the extrinsic game of what's really going on with my child, now you might approach my child different in the day.
Yep.
Now these are young people, right? So how many kids I got talking to me talking about, well, I don't like this class, Mr. McIntosh, because I don't like the teacher. You know what I say? I say, man, that's goofy, because you don't need to like the teacher in order to like the work.
Right.
Now I got to come say this, like, you know what I'm saying? But that really should be coming from the parent.
Right.
That's not even a real thing for you to like the teacher. And so have a healthy communication with your school.
That's good. Number 4.
Number 4, winning plays for the parent. When it comes to mistakes, kids doing wrong things, don't always let the consequence be the same.
That's good.
Can I talk how I want to talk?
Yeah, go ahead. You at home, go ahead.
Everything is not a whooping. Everything is not me putting my hands on you. I know I'm just talking to parents, but I hope that the school's listening too. Everything is not always a suspension.
Right.
That's for real. We suspend you, we whoop you. That does not mean it changes the behavior.
Right.
That don't mean it changed the behavior. That means I made you feel. I gave you something to think about. Your mom would say, I'm gonna give you something to think about.
Right.
But don't be lazy with that.
Yeah.
Number 5. What would I say number 5 is? Learn to, at every level of life with your children, to make sure you're having fun with them. They need to see you having fun. I know what y'all gonna say. No, you're not their friend. You can continue to carry that narrative, but I want my son to be able to talk to me about whatever.
Right.
And I'm not talking about whatever like before it happened. I'm talking about maybe he done did something that he knows I'm gonna be mad at, but he still feels comfortable to talk to me about something that he done did.
Right.
And that comes with, not everything is, you don't just talking to you just when I'm mad. But when we having fun, when we swimming, I'm playing, playing a video game with you.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. We talking about sneakers that you're into, all this other type of stuff that I'm constantly engaging you, and you don't even know it.
Right.
So that would be the 5. Don't ask me to repeat those. I hope y'all got that.
How you talk to them, how you listen to them, how you communicate with the school. Yep. What was 4 was not having the same exact discipline for situations. Yep. Mix it up. That's good. And last but not least, make sure you have fun with them.
Make sure you have fun with them.
I had your back.
Appreciate you, bro.
So, guys, those are the diamonds. You watching the Win and Play podcast. Is there anything else before we go that you want to leave with the people or share with the people?
Commit to just get better. And as bad as, and this is for everybody, as bad as life may seem, just commit to understanding that there is a bigger plan, bigger than you, bigger than your problems.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Because it's life is lifing for a lot of people.
For sure. Facts.
So
facts.
Whoever hears that, just keep going.
One more thing that I just thought about. Do you want to shout out the church?
Shout out Ebenezer Second Baptist Church. I want to shout out all the schools that I've ever been at. I want to shout out all the principals, all the superintendents, all the CEOs, everybody that I've ever encountered. Listen, I'm so excited about the future. I want to shout you out, man.
I appreciate that.
You're doing your thing, man. And
we,
me throwing up these W's, not the West Side, but the win. We win.
Wins, yeah, we win, baby.
We win. It's a dub. It's a dub, man. So appreciate you, man.
No problem. Thank you for that. And last but not least, I do want to, I'm going to make this announcement right here. Matter of fact, it's actually 2 things that I want to say. I just found out that there was a educator that passed away.
Wow.
And I just want to take this moment to make sure that I dedicate this episode to Karen French. She was an amazing woman who had her own charter school, and for many, many years, there's so much that she's done in education. When they say a person's done more than, they've forgotten more than you've learned.
Yeah. Wow.
She's one of those. So she's been TCP World Academy. Shout out to you guys, TCP World Academy. That's the first school I got my start in teaching.
Wow.
When I left the university, I worked for Tiffin University for a year, and then I went straight to Miss French. I had a friend who was working there, connected me to them, and she was like, let's go. Brought me right in. I was a health and wellness facilitator, the gym teacher.
Cool.
And I taught health when I was there. So definitely a shout out to Miss French, man. We appreciate everything that woman has done for us and all the children, the hundreds and hundreds of, possibly even thousands and thousands of kids that she's had an impact in their lives. So dedicate this this episode to her. The second thing and final thing is drum roll. I need a drum roll for this one. Guys, I need your help. I have had some supporters that have said, hey, I want to support you, and I don't know how. They've contributed financially, and they're like, dude, I want to be able to give you something monthly. And so I now have set up my Patreon page where you can contribute and financially support. And let me give you an example. Right now I have 3 schools that I know of. Let's see, 2 for sure I can call out right now that have said, hey, my children need you in this building. We need to book you. We need to get you here. But they are struggling financially to make that happen. So I need you guys to help sponsor so that I can get to where I need to get to, so I can say what thus saith the Lord to those children. Get in there and bless those babies. Do what I was called to do. So I have my Patreon page. So the Patreon page is for 2 types of people. The first type of person is saying, hey, I just want to support because I see you doing your thing with the kids, with these young people, you making an impact. I want to sow into good ground. So here is my monthly contribution. You get to pick its options in there. Pick which one that works for you. The second person, now pay attention for this one. The second person is the person that says, hey, I want to be a speaker. I want to be a speaker. I want to know how you doing this. I'm seeing you speaking. I'm seeing you doing different things. You an author. You got stuff going on. I wanted some of that. I want some of that game. Can I get it behind the scenes a little bit? Can I learn from you? Can I ask questions? So in the Patreon page, there's an option for you as well to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to share with you guys what I'm doing, how I'm doing it as a speaker. And you guys will get to ask weekly your own questions to say, hey, we got this session. So during this session, I want to ask my questions. How do I get started? How do I brand? How do I get this? How do I do that? So guys, I appreciate you. This is just the beginning, but we are making moves. And so if you guys are one of those 2 people, You say, hey, I want to support financially to get you in front of more kids, more students, so you can make a bigger impact. Ooh, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And then those that say, hey, I want to learn. I want to get the game, whatever I can from you. I've seen enough to know you know more than me, so I want to know what you know. So if you want to be a part of that, go to the Patreon. It's the link in the bio. It's the link down below, and click and pick whichever, monthly piece you want to do. So those are the two announcements that I needed to make. And other than that, man, I'm just grateful, bro. Thank you for coming, man. We got work to do. We got something we putting together. So you're gonna see us together on a flyer sometime soon, hosting something. So if you like what you heard, make sure you guys liking this, share this, reach out to them. Get Team Relentless in your head, in your heart, in your home, in your school, in your business, because you will be blessed. All right. So, man, that's all I have. You got anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right, man. Well, then we out of here. It's your boy, Sean Gary, and we out. Peace.